Clay, tell us a little bit about what you are presenting at the NAMM conference.
So I just finished presenting on Project Audience, which is an effort to kind of take the collaborative energy of all of the arts community and create a technology that will allow for better interaction with patrons. And that was a very interesting session that we just had on kind of the importance of sharing data and not being precious about it. And then tomorrow I'm moderating a session on kind of evaluating the intrinsic impact of art and how funders and marketing people and artistic people can better evaluate and come up with kind of standard metrics for understanding how effective their art is in terms of the intellectual and emotional and social impact that it's having on people.
And as a returning NAMP attendee, how would you describe the NAMP atmosphere to a newcomer?
I love coming to NAMP every year because I think that, one, it's a lot of people that I don't get to see at other times of the year, and I think also it's a whole bunch of people who share the same problems and issues that I do day to day. They spend a lot of time, everyone here spends a lot of time thinking about audience development and engagement and how to kind of increase our share of the pie, and it's a great place to come and learn about the new stuff that people are trying, whether it's successes or failures, so that we can kind of move forward with a more common knowledge about what has gone on in the community in the past year and what we might do in order to help our own community going forward.
And what is your main hope that attendees will take away from your presentation here at NAMP?
Well, for the shared data presentation, I think it's pretty important that people start to understand that a customer is not just your property, and that a customer actually is someone who is making a choice to come visit you and is an active, willful person that needs to be treated with the same amount of respect as you would treat anyone like that in any other aspect of your life. And more than that, that customer is also, there's a high likelihood that they're promiscuous and they're going somewhere else too, and that it's better if you know that and you understand that and you can leverage that to enhance the experience that they're having, rather than to be in the dark. And I guess that leads into the other conversation that I'm moderating around intrinsic impact, in that it's, that session is all about understanding what the value is of what we do, and understanding as kind of a fundamental starting point that the value of what we do is not at all about how much money we make, or how much money the person down the street is making at their restaurant, or things like that. It's much more about what is the transformation that we're inciting in these people, and what is the conversation that we're having with these people over the course of an evening, over the course of a series of shows, over the course of a season, over the course of a life, and how can we measure that and talk about that and use that to speak to our funders, speak to government, speak to patrons, and speak to people who aren't patrons but who should be.
And do you have a book or website that has inspired you in your career thus far?
I have a study that has recently been inspiring me a lot. I've been looking a lot at the original intrinsic impact study that Alan Brown wrote in, I think, 2006, and the work that it's based on, which is called Gifts of the Muse. Gifts of the Muse actually came out, I think, in 2004 or 2005 from the RAND Corporation, and is kind of the underlying theory behind this idea that we're spending so much time talking about the things that don't actually matter, or don't matter as much in an artistic experience. And then Alan took that work, worked with the major university presenters, and created a report that I think is called something like The Intrinsic Impact of a Live Performance, that is available on their website, wolfbrown.com. And that really looked at, it kind of set up these basic ideas of what are the real core impacts that a piece of art is having, and what are the questions that you can ask that will allow you to understand the differences between different productions on what's going on with those. I think that work and not just because we're currently commissioning a study from it, but that work has really, more than anything, informed the way that I engage as the director of audience development for Theater Bay Area with our whole community. It's helped me understand that the vocabulary that we have is not sufficient for what we need it to be, and that we are currently in a situation where we are chronically underselling our value to ourselves, to the people who come to see us, to the people who we ask for money, and to the people who make policy. And that without a serious look at what we're doing and why we're doing it, and without kind of coming up with a standard way of talking about it and measurable outcomes associated with it, we're going to be in real trouble.
Great. Well, thanks for coming for the interview, Clay, and we look forward to having you here for the rest of NAMP.
Thanks.